Grand Rising, brother.
Grand Rising, what's happening?
Right here, right here. Good. We get right into it today. Got a lot to cover. A lot of common events. There's current events going on. Before we do it, of course, got to get to the disclaimer. This show is gonna be comical. It's gonna be light. It's gonna be introspective. So, you know, for those of you listening, buckle up. Before we get into that, though, myself, Tony Bahama, Malik Aligamba, here, the Humblest Opinion. We have a disclaimer. Our disclaimer states that the Humblest Opinion is brought to you by AB2C Broadcasting, B Caribbean TV, and Professional Renaissance Protection Services. The views, opinions, ideas, thoughts, any disseminations from them are completely 100% the property of the producers and directors of the Humblest Opinion and the owners of the Humblest Records, myself and Mel Gamba. And any thoughts and disseminations of anything that you might feel or think or might be mad or upset about doesn't matter because those are completely yours. Those are 100% yours, and we are not liable for any of that. It is brought to you by an Asheville platform. If you do not like it, you can um, click off or exercise your right to choose. Brother Gamba, today, in the crazy world, we commonly, quickly, seemingly hear all the things that black people do, that might be problematic or questionable or insulting or crazy. Oh, he does this, she does this. You know, niggas do this, black people do this. But, we rarely see, or it's not as publicized as much as what white people do and other people do. The old adage is that you want to see who you can't, you want to see who's in charge, you should look at who you can't criticize. Um, this is a dialogue that we've been having here on this platform. So, Brother Gamma, as we've stated it before, why do you think it's so, Brother Gamma? Tell us why people think everything negative is us and everything positive is somebody else.
It's by design. It's plain and simple, it's by design. We live in a system where our oppressors have made it their business to go out of their way to ensure that we're looked at in a different light. See, if they don't if they don't do that, then they're gonna have to be held accountable for what they've done to us. But if they make everyone feel as if we deserved it, then nobody is going to be um, concerned about our plight. All right. So this is the reason why they've made everything dark or black to be scary or negative, and then that puts a worldwide spin on it for people that, even though they don't want to admit that they're racist or that they're bigots or that they look down on us, they don't have to say these things, but that's how they've been made to feel from birth to now. All right. So it justifies it.
Yeah, and we in the act of war, in the art of war, most genocides initialize or start off with a PR campaign, with a political, a publicity campaign, um, and it's been happening for years. It's been going on for years. All of the media, all the major media is being owned and controlled by a certain group. Which is why we took this platform to go ahead and bring some information and bring some light to some of our issues. Everybody on TV, the majority of them are just goons. Just goons. That's all. Just goons. They don't want to tell you what they're doing or what's happening. So we thought we'd point this out. Today in Florida, Mrs. Jessica Good, 43 years old. Bear in mind all the stories that we're going to be bringing up are right there on the internet for you to for you to peruse. You know, this was reported by MSNBC. Jessica Good, Florida woman, 43, crashes a party and rapes a 17-year-old boy. Jumps, pretty much has sex in front of a 12-year-old child at this same party. Oh my goodness. You know, but the narrative is the black male is the predator. You know, we've been seeing a spike in teachers, white teachers, with melanated and black young men. But Yambo, what's your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts is the bitch is crazy. You, you're gonna go out. Yes, okay. So you went out drinking, this, that, the next thing. The fact of the matter is this: the child was, to my knowledge, 17 and in school. So you knew that you were dealing with a listed minor. I don't know what the age of consent is in their country, but they said minor.
It
So
is
I'm
18.
assuming that, right? That's what I was about to say. I'm assuming that it's 18. So the child is 17, the child is in school, and you're fully aware of this. Now, the thing about rape is that coercion is one of those things that falls within that category as well. So you plied the young man with alcohol. You a grown woman, more than twice his age, and you proceed to do some things. Now, as a young man, it's going to be somewhat exciting, even if you're not attracted to or that attracted to the person. As a male, I'll tell you, I mean, somebody sucking on your dick. I mean, come on, man. I mean, sooner or later, if they got a little bit of qualification, something's gonna happen, you know? So she took it to that point. You know, she took it to that point and got him where she needed him to be, and they did their thing. You know, and as many young men, you know, because we remember how we were when we were young. It's like nothing to go 2 and 3 rounds. You understand what I'm saying? So this here took place, but I don't know whether he was bragging when he went to school. I don't know if it was he sobered up and was like, hey, this was not something that I wanted to do, and went and made an official complaint. I don't know. But the bottom line is the information made it to the authorities, and you know she's gonna have to pay the piper. Now, if that was if those roles were reversed, just
Oh man.
imagine the backlash that would have come upon a black woman. The crazy thing about it is that there's so many things that white people do that black people either don't generally do at all, or you know they'll do it once they saw that some white people did it, and they start following it up, because that's one of our biggest problems. You know, we have been so Europeanized that we want to be them instead of wanting to be us. So we follow, you know, a lot of stupid things that they do versus sticking to our own culture. And that's because we've been losing our culture. But speaking to that, white people have no culture. All they do is
Correct.
steal the culture from other people.
Correct. Correct. You know, it you know, somewhat people have this verbiage now. You know, they're it's almost an intrinsic, naturally assumption by a lot of people. You know, and we have to turn the whitewashing. You know, the whole blackballing. You know, we everything bad. You know, everything bad is the devil food cake is black. You know, not red, black. You know, all of these things, uh, just that perception. But no one points out, you know, if you see someone, you know, in a murder or a suspect, the black man or the minority man, his face is going to be plastered in front of the show. He's going to be plastered in front of the newspaper. But the triple and double homicide murder, he's going to be just a headline, just a paper, or his name or her name has been withheld to protect the innocent. You know, all of this garbage has been going on. So maybe it's time we look into some of the stupid stuff that people do. But again,
And these white people, people, you say they don't seem to realize that they're living a fantasy. They're just living a fantasy, and we're following them along in their fantasy. All right, let's take for example, we have white people trying to say that they invented or created braids. Come on, man. Let's get real. All right. You got white people who are walking around trying their best to be black, whether it's butt injections, whether it's exercising so they can have a butt, fake breast implants. Where you think they get the idea and thoughts from to have
yeah.
fake breasts or to have big breasts? They've been looking at our shapely women and saying, "Damn, I wish I could look like her." Or I see my man always staring at these women. I need to try to be like her. Okay. Um, the lips, pushing out the lips when they're taking photos because they want to have full lips. They got them thin lips like the damn monkeys. Okay. So they want to have full lips. So they're pushing their lips out in photos. Or they are getting Botox injected into their lips. And then our people go behind and follow them with the stupid thing. And then now they lips freaking 3 times the size of what it was when it was perfectly fine to begin with. All right. we we don't look at the fact that all they do is copy. They hear our music and then they want to sound like us. They see us dance and then they want to dance like us. They go to different countries and they experience their culture and they're like, you know what? Yeah, we need to have this. And then they just take it. So another thing that white people have a tendency to do is to act as if they discovered shit when they did not. They go and they see something, and then by the time as they finish telling that story, they created that shit.
We have with that, the manifest destiny, and it's not just it's not just white people. Apparently, it's going on in the Middle East as we speak right now. And just happened recently. Joe Biden, the leader of the free world, supposedly, right? He basically makes a joke about the Palestinians, getting bombed by the Israelis in their own place, in their own town. That's kind of cowardly, but we kind of know
Oh
what we.
wow,
Yeah,
wow, damn,
but
wow.
we knew about that. He knew he was a coward. He don't know nothing for nobody other than
No,
himself.
no, 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 no. I mean, we know he's a coward, but the fact of the matter is to make a statement like that. Wow.
And then to follow that up, Benjamin Netanyahu, who's the president of Israel, basically after he tries to double back and say, no, well, you know, I didn't really mean it. Of course, because nobody really, even though it's a truth in all jokes, you know what I mean? It's a part of truth in all jokes. Nobody really, you know, he meant what he said. We all know that. But he tries to double back down and says, oh, well, maybe it's not good, you know, the whole thing that's going on with, and he basically says to the President Benjamin Netanyahu that um, you probably want to stop this genocide. Could you stop? And Netanyahu, the leader of Israel, which is not even 0.1% the military might of you know America, says no, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna continue the course, meaning that their goal is to, like you said, discover and destroy all of the people. So basically, says fuck you. Look, Biden, fuck you. We're not doing what you say. We're gonna continue to commit genocide because that's what they're doing. So That's basically what it is. Then, if you, so that's their part or their way of discovering. And it's this discovering process, in quotation mark. It's going on right now as we speak. So that's sad. That's sad. Yet there's no ethics in any of this, but that's what's going on. Now, you have, um, another, the discovery that's still going on right now in America or in the Western world and East. You have people that stole cities and stole landmarks, but they didn't have the decency to rename it. You still have a town called Milwaukee. That's not your name. You still have a town called Illinois. That's not an American or English word. You have places like Chicago. Those are not English words. Those are Indian and native words, but yet you discovered, you know,
Yeah,
you
white people have a real big thing about discovery. They don't say that, we stumbled upon or we met some people doing some things and we joined in. No. As a whole, they have this tendency of just saying, hey, you know what? I like this mine. That's how they operate. All right. And then they get offended. That's another thing that they are very big on. They get offended if you challenge what it is that they said, if you challenge anything to do with them, they get highly offended, but they have, um, but they don't feel like you should ever get offended with anything that they say because anything that comes from white is supposed to be right. So, how dare you challenge something that they said was so, whether they realized it or not? All right. Now, you do have some people, some of them who get highly offended when they see people doing wrong to others. And that's some of the new age ones, and I gotta commend them for that. But as a whole, as a people in their history, their job has been to find something, take that shit over, and then obliterate the people who they got it from, or have them looked down in such a way that nobody believes their story when they say, hey, them bitches robbed us.
right. We. So then, and it all springs from small, minor, crazy things. Another story coming out of California. You know, a a, a gentleman. You know, was in his Tesla, riding down the seat, but sitting in the back seat. You know, and was arrested for this and stopped. I I don't. Maybe this is a new fad. Maybe he tried to invent something. I don't know. Shit's dangerous though. You play with people's lives. What's
And
going
they
on?
they and they love to do that. They love to play with people's lives. I mean, you've seen all the videos going around with black people being pulled over for sometimes practically nothing, things that didn't make any sense or things that weren't able to be justified. I mean, look at the military lieutenant who got pulled over, and he had dealer's plates on it to clearly show, hey, I just bought this, and you're allowed to ride around with those things for a certain period of time until you get the situation's license and insured. There was no reason for them to do that, and they saw the man in uniform, recognized and realized who he was. These are the people who go off and fight for your white privilege, you still decided to go and mess with him. A couple of years back, a female who was from Missouri, things happened in Washington, where she was blocking a black guy from entering a building that he lived in because she didn't recognize him in the building. All right. I mean, this is the level of the white privilege, and this is the level of the stupidity that these people go to. Look at the female who was who called the police on a little girl who's selling water on their block, trying to raise some money to go to Disney World.
Yeah, I
You
did
know,
see that.
when
Yeah.
Disney, yeah, when Disney World found out about it, they was like, you know what, fuck it, we buying you tickets, come, let's go. You know, come on. I mean, what is it? There was a video a while back of a white female who was trying to run a Native American woman out of a store. Okay, got up in the woman's face and got her head slapped off. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I mean, this wasn't even the white woman's store or the Native American store. They inside there shopping. Okay, this is the level of the brainwashing that they have. These people at, not all are on that level, so I don't want to make a blanket statement. But listen, though, you got some people out there, some white people out there who freaking extreme.
Yeah, you got some crazy stories. It's numerous stories that abound. You have another Florida woman. She posed as a student and went to her school, or dressed up in disguise and went to her school just to try to, I guess, I don't know, influence the students to like her on Instagram or social media. So your whole degree, your whole career is not worth these kids' opinion? What? I don't get it.
Yeah, crazy.
You have a whole lot of different stuff that's going on the internet. You got a main man that's writing a fake police report to avoid meeting. So you just no, just fudge that or put that in there. It happened already. These are police. These are people that are supposed to be respectable. These are people that are, the culture. You know, all of this things lead to one thing. But yeah, what you're saying.
Listen, they yeah, what I'm saying they because the this is just who they are. This is just who they are. I mean, it's just friggin' crazy. It's what it is to me. You know, I mean, they go out of their way to get whatever it is that they want to get done, and it's justified. As you had made mention about crimes being committed, and they would say a male, a young male, did such and such. But if it's a person, you know, thug or a black man, they make it clear that this is the perpetrator. You know, okay, but as long as it's white, then it's not a problem. Then
Right.
back to stealing. Then back to stealing. I mean, they taking credit for the Harlem Shake, my brother. The Harlem Shake. The Harlem Shake.
It tells you where
Okay.
it's from.
Okay, but they taking credit for the Harlem Shake. So that shows you exactly how freaking crazy they are with it. When you had Bo Derek speaking about cornrows, they making it seem as if they created that. When Kendall Jenner was rocking it a little just a short while back, just saying, step aside Bo Derek because they still trying to say that Bo fucking Derek invented cornrows. What the fuck? Like, really? Seriously? And I mean, and they got people who honestly and truthfully believe this stuff. It is just crazy. Okay, they take credit for lacrosse, and lacrosse came from blacks. Actually, just about anything that you could think of that these people are dealing with, whether it's yoga, what they call spirituality. They come and try to take over the rap game, R&B. I say anything and everything. White privilege has them believing that this is theirs. Like, how the fuck? Because okay, the level of the idiocy, the level of the ludicrousness of it, it's just crazy because when it gets started, people will say, wait, that's some bullshit. But they put it in history and they control history.
Yeah.
So by the time it's another 30, 40, 50 years, 100 years down the road, when the people who were around are no longer around to even say go and challenge it on any real scale, then
Yep.
that's what they have written. And that's what they
Yep.
teach in schools.
They normalize it. They normalize the BS, or they could, like they say, they make the night day and the day night. It's clear. These are certain things and the way certain things are supposed to be. We have to introspectively look, because most people would agree, whether they what side you are on. The media is not doing, in the most cases, aren't doing the fullest job or the best job at representing the full balance, both sides of the story. It's just cultural
They're
appropriation.
doing a piss poor job.
Yeah, they're doing a horrible job. Most people would agree that. So, when you saying, um, when you look at these things, it kind of gives the illusion. We have people, just if you want to apply it to the Caribbean, people that swear by anything that's written in the Tribune, that's written in the Guardian, that's written in the local newspaper. That is the gospel. Because they would never lie to you. They would never say anything that's untrue. And both publications are owned by the same family, or the same set of people, with an agenda. So, that's pretty much what it is in America and most places. The media is controlled by the full majority. But here you go. And you have just the truth not being told, the full and proper representation of things are not being told. Um, so, yeah, you have another instance here. 7 men were charged with hazing, in Ohio school, Bowling Green University. These people joining the fraternity, and the person happened to be black. Don't know why you want to go over there to begin with. Don't know why you want to go over there to begin with, but okay. You're the one black guy in the fraternity.
But you got what you
But,
look for, whatever that
but,
was.
and they haze you to death, and now they're pleading not guilty. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
And what's gonna be um so scary about the situation is they may just get off, especially if there are no witnesses to come forth and clearly state exactly what was taking place. I don't understand why, even in this day and age, we have a false understanding of what is really going on, and we truly still trust and believe that these people care about us and don't want to do us any harm. The great Muhammad Ali had said in an interview when they were asking him why he doesn't mess with white people, he said, if 10,000 snakes are coming at me and there are 1,000 good snakes who wouldn't do me any harm, do I believe that the 1,000 good snakes are going to cover me and protect me from the other 9,000 bad snakes? Hell no. So I'm going to just close the door on all of them motherfuckers. All right. So I wouldn't trust a grouping of. See, this is the thing. If you have yourself a white friend or a white colleague that you're close to, because all people are not bad. So, I don't want to give a broad blanket um, 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 scope to anybody. All are not bad. But if you have some trust in one, that's fine. But you're going to ride with one, six, seven, eight, nine, and feel like you're going to be okay, and it's just you. No, I don't think that's a wise move, as it was proven.
Gentlemen, I stand corrected. He's still a white guy, but he looks black. I don't even know what race he is, but hey, 7 people. Someone
If they're
died.
gonna do it, if they're gonna do it to their own, that's even worse.
Right. Some seven people, he's sitting here, plead not guilty. Somebody died. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody's gonna say anything.
Of
No.
course not. You have to. You got to remember now. White people are infamous for lying. I don't know if they created it, but they sure as hell are good at it. Because you have how many of our melanated brothers have been in jail for 20, 30, 40 years because of lies that white people told on them, whether it was murder, rape, um, armed robbery, whatever, and they were lied on. Okay, how many times have crimes been committed and they say, oh, it was a black guy when they knew that it wasn't, or they didn't even know, they just made the assumption. All right, how many people have been lynched over the course of the centuries because of the lies that have been told by these people? So, of course, I don't find it strange when they're there saying, I don't know what the hell went down.
Seven people standing around. Seven people there hazing, participating in the act. You have a body. You have an autopsy. You have, this stuff is happening. This is real, and someone dies, and you don't have any accountability. Um, yeah, this. And this is like Brother Gamba said, this is not a blanket statement. This is not a show for this. But we kind of have to keep the same energy. We kind of have to have people have the same energy all across this. Because right now what we're experiencing is a lack of complete and total accountability on one person's behalf, and people who are the powers that be just say, well, no, make me. We're not gonna do anything to them. They are who they are, and it is what it is, and that's how it's gonna be. Basically literally letting one group of people get away with murder. Um, and it's just so much different crazy things, and then people still have the audacity to say with all this stupid stuff going on that white people are doing. The head leading supposed group, of culture and fine arts in the people's minds. That you're acting white, or no, that couldn't happen because it's this or because of that. Come on, we're here to bring a balance, because nobody, these stories, I bet most of the people, the listeners, haven't heard about, you know, and notably so, properly, intentionally so, so as just to kind of blanket or hide, I guess, their lack of performance or their just idiocy, you know. So, but again, my final thoughts on this.
We've been made to believe by design that these people are superior when they are so far from it that it isn't funny. They've come to the point where they believe that they're superior because that's what they've been told. I mean, shit, when they look at television and they watching the movies, Superman is white. Batman is white, even though he's all dressed in black. It's a white guy, Flash Gordon. So they have this assumption that they are superheroes themselves.
Yeah, interesting
White
point.
people, white people, you need to take it out your mind. Take it out your mind. All right, you are inferior at best, equal to some. So let's get this thing out of the mind. And black people, let's get this thing out of the mind that you need to be white, you need to be European, blonde hair, bleach skin, bleached teeth, perm, all these different things. Okay, dressing a certain way. Now, hey, I say get rid of them sagging pants, bitch niggas. Get rid of the sagging pants. Okay, dress like a man, and that don't mean you dress in white because you got your pants pulled up where the fuck it's supposed to be. No. All right, so there are some things that needs to change, and at the end of the day, they still are in our culture. In any event, these are things that are thrust upon us. All right, so anybody who thinks or feels that you need to be them to be better, Just get it out your mind. Do some goddamn research.
Yeah. Perfectly stated. Perfectly said. We have to change the narrative. We have to change the way we think and the way we process things. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today on the Humblest Opinion. Myself, Tony Bahama, Malik Aligambo. You know, our goal here on this show, as always, is just to kind of bring you some informative facts to make you think, to make you do some research, to make you come to the knowledge of yourself, whether you be black, white, or whatever. Yeah. Thank you for joining us here on the Humblest Opinion. Myself, Tony Bahama, Malik Aligambo. Until next time. Thank you.
Let it be go, let it be go. See, there we go.